At 29 stories, you can't miss it in the Memphis skyline.
When it was built, it was the tallest building in the Mid-South.
With a yellowish hue, completed in 1929, the Gothic-style tower on the corner of B.B. King and Madison once housed more than 2,000 workers, complete with a barber shop, bank, and beauty parlor, even putting out a monthly pamphlet with the latest news of the place.
I think it had its own fan club, if you will, early on because of its height, because it stood out, and they used to say it was one of the 8 wonders of Tennessee.
For a time, nicknamed the Queen of the South, the stunning building was the first of its kind for the area.
It's a glorious building.
But since the 80s, the once regal building mothballed, tenants left, its structure now weathered.
It's been empty for years and years and years.
It's an obscenely large building right in the middle of downtown Memphis that is completely empty.
The paint chipped, at the bottom, new bright artwork has been added. But there's dreams it could once again thrive like it used to.
It's probably the next big thing.
June West is the executive director of Memphis Heritage, a nonprofit that works to educate and save historic buildings in Memphis, visiting the Sterrick as a child.
Eye doctor, Dr. Myers, was there.
She's aware of some of the hurdles the building needs to go through to get a facelift.
The big issue is that the land is owned by one family and the building is owned by a different company. It was a 99-year land lease when the building was built in the late 20s. And that time is not up yet.
Listed on the National Register of Historic Places in the 70s, the Sterrick would qualify for federal historic tax credits if remodeled. In the last few years, Memphis seems to be experiencing a renaissance of sorts. Iconic spots once again coming alive. Recently, the city of Memphis announcing the tallest building in the city, now vacant 100 North Main, could once again have a tenant. The Tennessee Brewery, Ellis Building, Central Station, the Chiska, and of course, the old Sears building, now Crosstown Concourse, its revitalization into an art gallery, restaurants, shops, and apartments, garnering national attention.
It could be a mini vertical village like that is, if somebody had the initiative to do that.
Of course, it comes with its share of hurdles, possible problems for modern HVAC, reports of asbestos.
The things that I've heard are that the ceiling heights are not as grand as some of the other major downtown buildings.
But again, she compares it to what's been done at Crosstown.
Breaking through the walls and literal floors to get light in and all that, there's all sorts of possibilities for the Sterrick.
I love the vintage feel of it and the fact that we were able to bring back this building because it is so memorable here in the Memphis market.
Sitting right next door to the Sterrick is the just opened Hotel Indigo, spot once the first Holiday Inn in downtown in the early 60s.
We took this thing all the way down to the concrete slab.
The 119-room hotel providing guests with a retro 1960s vibe. Some rooms even providing a bird's eye view into the Sterrick building.
There's the dentist office. See the old dental chairs? And with the excitement that's going on in this part of downtown Memphis, we're really hoping that soon that will be one of the next buildings to be occupied and rehabbed.
General Manager Patrick Jordan, far from the only one. Stephen McVeigh published an article about the Sterrick building for the Memphis blog Barn Burner.
My entire goal with that article was just to get people to talk about it again.
Questioning the status quo of the empty high-rise, saying for a city with character and a turbulent past, the skeletal structure that is the Queen of Memphis should be seen as nothing more than a battle scar, one we indeed have to live with, but one we can embrace.
They don't need to have plywood all over it. They can very easily make it look somewhat more presentable and find a way to slowly start integrating it into the city in some way.
It's just what's the next step and what is the next page for this building.
The next page in a building that's experienced many chapters with more to go. A recent report from back in November in the Memphis Business Journal says the families owning the land the Sterrick sits on have listed it for sale with a large real estate firm, hoping to find the right developer to ignite new energy into it. That developer willing to pour the millions of dollars needed into it and getting everyone on the same page.
I've no doubt that it will be restored at some point.
Shay Arthur, WREG, News Channel 3.